Good evening. Welcome to the Real Biz Academy. December 2021 monthly California real estate update, Northern California edition. Tonight we got three presenters. Presenter number one is Lily Garipova from our Fremont office. I say from the Bay Area. And then
Hi.
presenter number two is Kathleen Xiang from Tri Valley in the Bay Area. And then presenter number three is Judie Xue. She is from Sacramento. Well, welcome everybody. I see Zhang Ping and then Bala, and then I see Feng Jiao, Kathy, Wayne, Elaine, Joe, Nick Chang, Howard Xiao, Yvonne Verla, TM Zito, Henry Zhang, Maria Slikova, Johnny Yu, Walu, and Jennifer Kai. All right, without further ado, let's start with Lily. So our first presenter, Lily will go
Hi.
first. All right, Lily, you and I chat a little bit. Now, lately, where have you been doing most of your transactions in?
Well, most of my transactions all over the Bay Area all the time, right? Uh, Recently, I didn't, I submitted for a house today in Fremont, and we didn't get it. So there was 20 offers for a single family home.
Oh
Uh,
my
and
God. Uh,
and the yeah the winning price was way higher than market value, even so, like everywhere.
okay, we'll talk about that. All right.
Mm.
So enough of introduction. So let's dive into what you're going to present to us today.
Yeah, hi. So yeah, talking about my introduction, yeah. So I'm working as a realtor in Century Mac Realty. So I represent buyers and sellers. Work a lot with first-time home buyers and sellers. Actually, if you have any questions, reach out to me at any time. And we can go to my next slide. It's just,
Of course, of course. Your next slide. All right.
yeah, that's just the table from the house which I submitted offers today. So the whole table was full of cards within like a couple of days on the market. And this is just one example how hot is the market. And when we talk about like at the beginning, we talked about the hope for seasonality of the market, which is not happening actually, and it happens vice versa. Buyers are more active, and they're moving faster, and there is not enough homes for sale. Inventory is not adding up. And yeah, so we can go to next slide.
Okay, next slide.
Yeah, so just a look, it's a graph showing a median listing price for single family home, and it's in Fremont, I guess. Yeah, so the Fremont started to be very popular lately, and the Fremont prices grew really, really fast, and they still keep growing. Like the homes which are selling right now, they selling at record high prices, and yeah, because of the shortage and a lot of buyers.
I want to make
Uh,
sure that we are talking about Fremont because your chart doesn't show Fremont.
yes, it's definitely Fremont. Sorry, it was on the top. I think your screen, maybe you can make
Squeeze
it.
it a little bit, make it
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
smaller.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
It's
I see
Fremont.
what you, oh, okay, all right, all right. It's hidden. Sorry about that. Okay, here you go.
Yeah, as you see that Fremont prices almost grew like up to 20% year. I mean, like 20% year to year, right? So yeah, we can go to, and this is for single family homes. We can see on the next slide. Can we do the next slide? Can you please?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. So this is for townhomes in Fremont. The same thing, like townhomes in Fremont. The same thing, like they growing. It's just like less desirable, but they still desirable, right? So Next slide, please. And yes, the condos. Condos is the next thing. They are growing in price and in value as well. So yes, and if we talk about townhomes and condos, we still see multiple like multiple offers for the condos and townhomes. Um, it's not a slow
We're
market for
not
them.
seeing as much appreciation for condo though.
No,
That's not
no.
surprising though. Condo historically has been kind of slow in appreciation.
Yes, yes. So basically, majority of my client, like if you think, I mean, like to think like a first time home buyer, usually a lot of people have a, price point, right, which they want to reach, and then at this price point, like every, like they thinking in terms of HOA, how much is going to add to their mortgage payment, and some of the um, buyers, they just don't want to get involved with HOA, but then when they get outpriced out of single family homes, right, the next option for them is going to be townhome because there is no other option. So, and then only they would agree to townhome. It's very interesting, but yeah, preference goes to single families always.
Okay.
Yeah, and we can go to the next slide. Yes, it just shows how many homes, it's all types, which sold in a year, right? So basically, yeah, it shows slow. I mean, like, the curve goes down because there is nothing to buy. Like basically, literally, in Fremont, sometimes my clients would send me, let's say the price point. Yeah, it's like it sounds um, unrealistic, yeah, but some clients, they want to look for like up to 1.3, right, like, or up to 1.4, and then if you look on in Fremont, you probably will see like 2 or 3 homes which are up to this value, and it's very little amount, right, like it's not we usually see in the market. So when you bring, like, look at them on MLS and pull out the homes, there is like maybe 3 or 4 homes at this price range, and it's very sad to see. So um, yeah, and we can go to the next slide. And San Jose, it's another market which I want to talk to. It's a similar situation in San Jose. The market didn't change in there at all. So single families, you would see on the graph, they just keep growing, and it's not gonna. So again, I don't think San Jose will ever change, and they still have place to grow in price, right? The same thing with Fremont, right? So Fremont is a really good location for commute, and I think more and more people started to realize it, and which is insane. Like you would think like everyone tries to get into Fremont or it's San Jose. So San Jose, yes, it has room to grow, and it's gonna grow. We can go and see next slide.
Let me ask you this.
Mhm.
Now, the looks like the median list price for single-family homes, the annual growth year-over-year is 17.9% on the listing site,
Mhm.
correct?
Yes. Mhm.
All right, next one.
Yeah. So just as an example, I have buyers who are looking in like a couple buyers who look in San Jose, and they have a high price point, right? Like above two, and they cannot. I mean, like there is nothing to offer for them. Like basically they searching in specific area, and I can't. Like over 3 or 4 months, there is nothing that comes up in the search criteria, to buy for them. So this is how bad it is. Like I cannot even, like if there would be only at least like 1 or 2 homes a month, like I would still hope there is a chance. But they like constrained by a specific area, and in this area nothing comes up, right? What they that matches the criteria. So this is how bad it is. in some areas. And then in townhouses in San Jose is the same. Actually, townhouses in San Jose grew much better than the Fremont townhouses. If you look at the price points of townhomes in San Jose, some of them, like at the beginning of year, they were listed like for 800 and sold for 890 or so. And right now I just saw like neighborhood, it's Communication Hill, one listing just closed above, I think, one. And so, and it's a record high. It's basically came close to the single family price in some areas in San Jose. And yes, that's what I was predicted, like, because some neighborhoods with townhouses in San Jose, they grow higher and higher and higher. So because if they would see in a neighborhood, I mean, like in this community, one will sell at higher price, the next one is going to go a little bit higher, and over like 5 months, they grew immensely actually. So
Mm.
the same situation, right? Like people cannot get into the single family, they move on to townhouse, and then they move to condo.
Yeah.
Um, mhm. Yeah, so, and we can see the next slide.
Okay.
Yeah, the condos in San Jose, the same, they grow, but of course, as a single families, they don't grow so much. There is still overbidding in San Jose condos, but it's not that high as in a single family home market. So yes, it's hard to be on a buyer's market right now. I mean, like to be on a buyer's side, but it's doable, right? As again, it's consistency, and the only problem is there is nothing to buy, right? And when it comes the house of which my clients want to buy, there is like a big amount of buyers who want this house as well. Yeah, not discouraging, but um, it's doable.
Okay. All right. Next slide.
Yeah. And that just shows like all home types, right? Like which sold in San Jose. And it shows the same graph goes down because there is nothing to buy. Yeah, the market is the same. It's not getting better.
Okay.
Mhm. So yeah, just and it's just a joke. Excited for the holidays. We bought a gingerbread house to decorate, and it already has 6 offers. This is this is this is this is really true in today's market. So
Yeah.
uh, as I said today, I submitted for single family in Fremont, and when I called the agent, like we gave like well above asking. I would say like well above asking, and it was a really strong non-contingent. And actually, I would tell you a story. This house basically the the agent, they did the inspections. They had the inspections on the table. So when I checked the termite, there was no termite at all. There were no driveway termites or no subterranean termites, and just a little bit dry rot. So I said, okay. Then I was reading a home inspection, and there were no. I mean, like the inspector just wrote down that he could not find the crawl space, so he could not check it, right? So I called the company, I called the listing agent, and I said, these guys need to come back and inspect the crawl space. So in the morning, I met these guys because my client wanted to submit non contingent, like so. Basically, I met the termite guy who told me he found termites, he found both kinds of termites, and there is a lot of dry rot and so on. So I knew I was, I was aware of the expenses which will be needed to spend for this home, because I talked to termite guy, I met him in the house, and I talked to my buyer, so he was aware and so on. But imagine like this. So basically, this house got 20, I think about 20 offers. So, and the people who submitted, they were not even aware about these problems, right? So, and they were just submitting blindly, and like always on this market. But at least, like it's complicated, right? Like, and when you think about it, I called the agent in, I mean, like later today, and he told me, well, the house, so I mean, like we got the highest, which is record highest, and I can't believe I got this price for this house. This is what the agent told me. And I'm like, well, I was just asking him like how much percentage wise it was higher than us. And yes, this is how crazy it is. Like I was expecting like at least like 5 or 10 offers, but not 20. And the house was really small square footage, so it's not, I mean, like for a big family. Uh, yes, interesting, but yes. And yeah, and I think the market is moving even faster, right? Like why I think this is happening, because everyone, like I know the rate is growing and they're trying to grow. I mean, like the raise the rate soon, but rent is growing as well, right? So, and there is nothing to buy, and a lot of people who don't believe in stocks, right? They right now they rearrange their portfolios, they pull out the money from stocks, and they believe in assets, right? Like they're trying to buy any real estate which is available. So basically, if you read on any chats, if you like on some forums and so on, people think how to reinvest their money, right? Like they basically rearrange their investments, and they would see that the assets are stronger, right, than they to keep money in stocks. And some people buy second homes, a lot of people buy vacation homes, rental homes. But the the problem in this market right now, there is nothing to buy, and a lot of people want to buy. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, and a lot of that has to do with eviction moratorium too, because like in Alameda, the eviction moratorium, they have one of those crazy ending date. It was either going to be December 31st, 2020, or the day that the Alameda County declares the state of emergency is over. And as of now, the Alameda County has not declared it over. Honestly, we don't know when they're going to declare it over because of Omicron. Okay,
Mm,
so I
mm,
think because of that, less homes are available because there are some landlords that want to sell, but they just can't sell. I'll give you an
mm,
example. Recently, there was a friend of mine that called me about a listing that he had in Berkeley, and they had a tenant on it, and he realized that it's hard to get the buyer into contract because the buyer just either could not see the homes or just don't like the fact that they have to deal with the tenants. So he called me up and he said, well, Kenny, would you co-list with me? Because if you co-list with me, I know you were an attorney before. You can help me evict the tenants. I told him, I said, no way I can do it for you because of the eviction moratorium in Alameda County. So I think it's going to continue for a while. All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Lily. And before I move
thank
on to Kathleen, let me say hello to a few people. Linda Huang, Carrie Wang, Andrew Pai, Emma Lu, Selena Zhang, Ying Mei, Fan, and Lin Lang are with us tonight. All right. Thank you so much. I will join you at the conclusion of tonight's presentation. Now let's move on to our next guest. Her name is Kathleen Xiang. All right, Kathleen, I know you've been waiting a long time. Okay, are you ready for your presentation?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right, let's move to your presentation.
Okay.
All right, so
All
what you
right.
can share with us tonight?
As everybody know, I'm Kathleen Xiang with Syntemac Realty, and I work in San Francisco Bay Area and mostly focusing Tri Valley. So today I'm going to share with you the market updates in Tri Valley for November 2021, and also the high schools and school districts in Tri Valley area. A brief
All right,
introduction.
let's go ahead and take a look.
Okay. So for the real estate markets, November 2021, as everybody know, is slowing down because of the holidays coming up. As you can see, the inventories are very low in Pleasanton, Saremont, Dublin. Stanley and Livermore a little bit better. But despite the inventories, one very interesting number to look at is the dollar per square feet. For all 5 cities, they all reached the new record high of the dollar per square feet in November, which shows a very, very strong market. So Pleasanton is the highest dollar per square feet in all 5 cities, which is 840, shows a 33% increase from the same time last year. And the lowest one is Livermore with 684, still shows a 28% increase from last year. So all 5 cities have reached the record high in the month of November. Let's go back to the inventories. As you can see, in Pleasanton, Sarma, and Dublin, they all have inventory less than 10. And Pleasanton shows a significant drop from the same time last year, dropped 80%. And all other cities showing a drop from 50 to 60%, showing like everywhere the inventory is extremely low, which consistent with Lily's saying that's why the buyers are still very active. So since the inventory is extremely low, it's very hard to get a house. And in Livermore, it shows a 20% increase from the same time last year, reached at 27. So that is a good sign if the buyers are looking for houses in Livermore. The average sale price, though, the highest one is Danville. It topped at 2 million, a little bit over 2 million, with a 15% increase from the same time last year. And the lowest one is still Livermore, which is over 1.2 million, showing a 20% increase from the same time last year. And as you can see, all has showing a strong market. The average sale price has increased so much in Tri-Valley area of 5 cities. And because of the extremely low inventory, the month supply is very, very low in Pleasanton, Sarmon, and Dublin, either 1.1 or 0.2, which means all the inventories on the market with the sales speed of the current sales speed, it's gonna all sold out in 0.1 month. And the other 2 cities are not that low, but it's still less than 0.5 months. That means less than half a month. So, which shows a very, very strong market here with an extremely low inventory and a new higher price.
Mm. Okay, well, as you can see, Danville is an area where you find bigger square footage homes. That's why the dollar per square foot is actually lower than Pleasanton. I think
Yes,
you're probably gonna find more bigger size homes in Danville than you find in Pleasanton. Okay,
exactly. And
even
bigger
though,
lots.
yeah, even though bigger lot too, yeah, even though you're seeing a higher dollar per square foot in Pleasanton, it doesn't mean that the houses are most expensive in Pleasanton. Everybody
Yes,
knows that the most expensive houses in the Tri Valley exist in Danville. So if you want to find the best and the highest price homes, you go to Danville. Okay.
yeah. And
All right, let's
Alamo
move
too.
on. And Alamo, yeah, we're not showing Alamo, but Alamo, of
Yeah.
course.
Mhm. So let's
Let's
move on
see.
to the next slide so I
All
can
right,
share some
all
of
right. Let's
the
talk
school.
about the school districts.
Yeah, I know everybody's they're looking into travel area because of the schools. So today I'm gonna show you all these rankings and ratings. There are a couple of different sources we can get regarding to school districts. One is niche. So niche from niche we can see there are best school districts in California ranking. So according to niche, the number one in school district in Tri-Valley is Pleasanton Unified School District. It ranked number 17, the best school district in the whole California, and it has a rating of A plus. And the second best is Sarmon Valley Unified School District, and it ranked at number 26 in the whole California. And Dublin comes as number three, and it is number 33 best school district in California. And because Saramon, as you can see, they have total schools of 37. It contains not only Saramon but also Danville. So it's a very big school district with more schools and more students. And Livermore is good as well. It's ranked at 109, the number 109 best school district in California, and total schools is 18 with a niche score a grade of A minus. So as you
Would
can
you
see,
say
it,
the school district in Livermore has come up quite a bit in the last few years?
yes, exactly.
Because in the past, people are always worried about buying homes in Livermore because of the school districts. Not anymore. I think you can find schools with 7 or higher in Livermore now, easily
Yes,
too. Right.
yes. We can see the next slides showing you the scores, uh, numbers out of 10.
Yeah,
So
of course, yeah.
yeah, the previous slides showing the statistics from or the rankings from niche.com, and this slide is going to show you another two sources. One is School Digger, which gives you the individual school ranking and very detailed information regarding everything that you can think about. And also the last column, 10 out of 10 or 9 out of 10, is the score I found in greatschools.com. That's one thing we can also take a look at. So the number one school, high school in Tri-Valley area is Dottie Valley High, which is in San Ramon Valley Unified School District. It's ranked at 15th of all 2,133 high schools in California. So it's the 15th place for all the high schools in California. And the sorry, it shows a 10 out of 10 in greatschools.com. Uh, Foothill High in Pleasanton Unified comes second with the 40th out of the, the total, all the high schools in California. And Monta Vista High is in San Ramon Valley Unified, which actually is in Danville. It comes at 41st place. And the next one is Andor Valley High, which is in Pleasanton. It comes as a 52nd of all the high schools in California. Those four are the top 100 in all the California high schools. And the fifth place is Dublin High. Dublin High is the only high school in Dublin area currently, and there's another one is under construction, I believe. So the Dublin Unified School District is very well too. It is 115th of all the high schools, and California High in San Ramon is 121st of all the high schools. San Ramon Valley High, which is in Danville too, is about 206 of all the high schools. As you can see, the Livermore High and the Granada High, both are Livermore Valley Joint Unified High Schools. They ranked around 462, 438. So they are all 7 out of 10. So they are very good high schools too.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Next one.
So that sums up all the comparison of the high schools.
All right, thank you, Kathleen. And before I move on to Judy, I want to thank you for your presentation, and I'll meet you at the conclusion. And let me say hello to a few people that joined us a little bit late. We got hello, Emma Lou, Amy, and Maggie. All right, I will move on to Judy. Here comes Judy. All right, Judy, are you ready to give your presentation? Or you want
Yes,
to say a few words first?
well, I was a little bit surprised this year for the winter time because I was expecting some break time and vacation
Yeah,
time.
yeah, I know. It was non-stop for you. I mean, I could see the TC getting busy with your transactions. So I know you stay very busy during the winter months as well. All right, let's move
Yes.
on to the chart.
So the the first number shown here is the days on market right now. For me, it looks like no change on this November compared to the October. On October, the average closing date on market date is 22 days. It's 20 days, and November is extended to 22 days. So 2 days more. It doesn't. I don't think it's make any difference with 2 days change. It's only 10% extra. And Kenny, please go to next slide.
Yes, of course. All right.
As we can see, the inventory really dropped low this month, actually last month, November. And in this December, I don't have the number yet, but based on my personal experience, I do feel the inventory is dropping even lower in these 2 weeks. Because I've been looking on the market, I don't see anything come up yet. So, and we still see a lot of numbers of buyers on market looking for properties. So we still can see the big competitions bidding war over here, especially in Elk Grove, Rockland area. And Kenny, could you go to the next slide?
Yes.
And as we can see, it's a little, to me, it's a little bit surprising because we all know the interest rate go up a little bit in 2 weeks ago, and somehow we didn't see any changes on the price, and it's even go up a little bit higher. As I said, the competition is still there. The weather got colder, but the market seems not. Myself, I put a couple offers this Saturday and Sunday, and I already received 2 rejection letters, and I submit another offer today. Hopefully, I can get some response tomorrow, but I won't hold my breath for it because, as the listing agent told me, they received 10 offers within 6 days. That is a small house in Rockland area. The house condition is not very good, and it's also an older house. It's built in 1988, 87 something. And the remodel, all the decoration is kind of old fashioned. So actually, to owner occupied buyer is not that attractive, but somehow it still received 10 offers. And based on the disclosure I saw, there was owner's mom even passed away inside the house, and they still received 10 offers. So hopefully my lucky buyer can win the offer, but as I said, I won't hold my breath for it.
We're not short
Uh,
of buyers in this market, I'll tell you that. There's still a lot of buyers out there, a lot.
yes, a lot of buyer, and also not only the uh, buyer to looking for primary home, also investor buyers. Because we all know the interest will go up for sure. We just don't know how soon it will be. So everyone want to lock the interest rate before the interest rate go too high. Pretty much that's all I want to share today.
All right, thank you. And now to the conclusion of tonight's presentation. So as usual, I'll have a question for all the presenters. Last year, I asked the same question in December. What's the outlook for 2022? And last year, everybody said it's up again, up again. So you're being asked the same question, 2022, what can we expect? And why are you saying that? Lily.
Well, well, I think my opinion, I don't know, I might be mistaken, but I think it's gonna go only up into 2022, and we're gonna grow like, I mean, like in a good, at a good pace. Why this is gonna happen? Because I just was making a presentation in Russian about this. So usually, like if you look in US, the inflation rate about 2%, right? This year it reached 7%, and money printed a lot of money. So people have a lot of cash. Right now, all this like movement, what happens right now is like these people try to lock this money into interest rate and so on. But even if the interest rate goes up a little bit, majority, I mean, like I would say a lot of people, they don't care about interest rate, they just want to get the house. So when the interest rate will move a little bit up, like at the beginning of the year, it would not stop the market. Like the market will still go up and up and up. The problem is there is nothing to buy. And when it comes that there is something to buy, for every house, there will be like about 10 or 15 buyers on average. So a lot of buyers, lots of millennials who want to get in a house. And yeah, we're going to go only up.
Okay, sounds like it's wonderful to be a listing agent at this time. All right. Okay, thank you. And now, Kathleen, your turn. Why don't you go ahead and express your opinion?
Yeah, I think 2022 gonna be a very good start. And as you can see, all the inventories are extremely low, and all the buyers are very ready to jump in whenever the inventories comes back. So I think we will not see the normal seasonality like the low a slowdown at the beginning of the year. So I think it's gonna catch up right away in the beginning of the year. And also on the other hand, I think later on the new buildings new inventories. I mean the new constructions will make up the inventory as well. Uh, During the last couple of years, I know there's a one space or one vacant land in Pleasanton. It has been held for about 10 years or so, and now the Toll Brothers is ready to bring it back on market right away. So there are like 40 single family houses starting from 3 million. It's a very high end community coming up in Pleasanton. And I think in all around the Tri Valley area and Bay Area as well, there are lots of builders that are ready to bring new piece of land or new communities into the market, and that will help as well.
Okay, thank you, Kathleen. And Judy, please express your opinion.
I do think the price will still go up, but not as fast as this year, as I my personal opinion, because we still have some negative factors in our economy. Include the interest rate is going up. The second is we still have COVID situation hanging there. It's like a big cloud for over 1 year, almost 2 years. But in the other side is, as we mentioned long time ago, the inflation rate. It's been high over 5%, 6%, even go up to 7%. Even increase the interest rate, I don't think in a short period of time it will decrease the inflation rate. So every person is used to United States in a low inflation for over decades, and suddenly we have to accept a fact that that time already passed. The cash is not king anymore. We need to have something to um, to fight with the inflation suddenly. So everyone is rushed to buy a property to liquidate their money. And the second thing is there is high population go into the Sacramento area. It's already been like this for over 5 years, and in last year, I think we see more people move to Sacramento from Bay Area, from other cities. One side is work from home, and the other is I think this year working from home is become a trend, and people get used to or like to work from home. situation. And also we have this what what is called some new technology like Zoom meeting or even a VR. I don't know, have you tried the VR? I personally bought a VR. I tried myself. So all the new technology and auto driving stuff. So my personal opinion is all the suburban area are going up faster than the use like Sacramento, San Francisco, Silicon Valley area. So that's my personal opinion.
All right, especially people has grown comfortable. They are comfortable working from home. They don't want to go back to the office. Okay, like I don't want to go back to the office. I'm so comfortable working from home. I'm thinking about the drive to the office. Oh my God. In the past, it was no problem, but now suddenly things have changed. Okay, and in case you're wondering, oh yeah, in 2 weeks we'll become a virtual brokerage. Okay, I'll be ready, and CenterMac Virtual will be ready, and we're going to provide 24/7 support for our agents as well as for our customers. How do you like it to be able to call a number in the middle of the night, and there'll be a live person answering your call, and there'll be a live person uh, attending to your needs? Yeah, that's going to happen in about 15 days. That's going to happen. Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody, for attending. And I look forward to talking to you guys next Tuesday at 11 a.m. Everybody have a wonderful weekend.